of all, I want to give you a little clarity on what goes down on my channel. So basically, I give tips, tricks, secrets on success and who you really are as a person. I mean, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to materialization, I take both of those and I bring them into balance so that you guys can understand who you are and that I can understand who I am in the process as well. This is a family thing. This is a team thing. We all work together. We work in cooperation, and the goal is to experience true happiness. Is to experience a life that you actually want to live. So without further ado,
what's up guys, Universal Mastery. So today I'm coming to you with a specific message that is obviously very powerful. And in today's message, what I want to talk about is literally one of the most powerful energies that you could ever harness. Okay, that you could ever become aware of, that you could ever use to your own spiritual, mental, and physical growth. And that energy is, and what we're going to be talking about today, is transcending sexual energy. And basically what I mean by that is how to use sexual energy to further and speed your growing process. Okay, how to transmute it into yourself, into your being, and use it as a daily motivator, a daily driver sometimes, something that gives you energy out of nowhere. Okay, so first thing that I want to do is I want to talk about sexual energy and kind of break it down on what it is for those of you who have no idea, or for those of you who want to know a little more in depth about it. So sexual energy is obviously an energetic frequency, energetic feeling, an energetic state of being that you get when you're sexually aroused, when you're sexually charged, when you're attracted to something sexually in any way, whatever way it is. You know, a lot of times for the man it's the feminine, and a lot of times for the feminine it's the masculine. You know, and those, you know, those things can charge you. So for example, from a man's standpoint, you may see a beautiful girl walk by and she may look at you a certain way and, you know, flick her hair, and then you get this feeling in yourself. You get this like, whoa, like I feel good, like damn, that she's so, you know, she looks so good and her energy is just, she's beautiful, she's like a goddess. And then, you know, for a female, you may see a man and he walks in and, you know, he goes, you know, right up to you and he introduces himself and he, you know, he's just a man and he says it how it is, and you can tell that he's a leader and that he has leader traits, and you may love that about characteristic about him, and it may turn you on. So that is an example of the energy that I'm talking about. So once again, that was just an example. This energy can be, you know, you can find this energy from many places. Those two are just probably the most common ones, but it's just an energy. So that sexual energy is literally one of the most powerful energies that you could use. So first thing first, the first veil that I want to pierce, the first wall that I want to tear down, is the one that says, oh, you should feel ashamed if you're attracted to somebody. You know, these days there's a lot of jobs that are out there where you have to act professional and you have to act like, you know, you're not attracted to people. You have to be almost a robot, okay? You know what I'm talking about if you've ever worked in an industry like that. Or, you know, these days in a lot of jobs, they tell you to not be yourself. They tell you, they separate you farther from your primal true core essence, true core being. And, you know, I want to pierce that veil because it's okay to be attracted to whoever. You know, it's okay to look at someone and be like, damn. It's a state of massive appreciation. Obviously, if you're a creep and you go up and you start saying weird stuff and you don't have like that self-control or discipline, then that could cause a problem. Then you could get in trouble. But, you know, I'm assuming right now you're not that person, and, you know, you appreciate that stuff, and you have no problem going and approaching, as long as you're coming from a place of respect. You know, as long as you have your own boundaries and you say, hey, look, this is who I am, and, you know, I just came up and I want to know who you are. Yada, yada. That energy, if you can harness that and use it for your own growth, then you have tapped into something very sacred. Okay, you have tapped into something very secret, and that will help progress you massively. Okay, I mean, on a level of like, you have no idea. Now, I want to tell you this. A lot of the times when you are in a spiritual growing phase in life, because there's phases when it comes to this, when you start getting involved with magic and real energetic manipulation on a very pure scientific level, and you start doing witchcraft, ritual work and things like that, you can consciously go into spiritual growth periods by choice. But let's say you're not doing that stuff. Let's say you're going through life and you just realize, you feel that there's different periods in life that have different things to offer, have different challenges, and you just sense it and you feel it. You're not doing like specific rituals, but it's coming to you. Either way, there's phases of spiritual growing periods. So what I want to tell you is, in a certain, in a phase of your growing experience, physical, spiritual, and mental, there's a common underlying factor of the lust principle. And what I mean by that is, when you're in a serious stage of growth, when you're in a serious stage of evolving, of moving into a direction, your spirit guides, your own higher self, being your own God self, your ancestors, all the spiritual beings that are around you and want your success and want the best for you, they may have you in a situation where, let's say men or women are attracted to you. People that you're attracted to are attracted to you. But when you go and approach, or when you go to try and talk to them on that level, it doesn't work. And you don't understand why. You feel like your energy is different, and they're not in the same headspace as you. They're not in the same mindset as you, and it's just not working. It's like, why isn't it working? Like, we're attracted to each other, but why can't I go and talk to this person? Well, I want you to, first of all, not be like afraid of that. First of all, I want you to know that that's a sign that you're in a spiritual growing phase. Once again, what I call the lust phase, where it almost builds, and it does, a frustration, a sexual frustration. Because naturally, as human beings and as spiritual creatures, we want a release. Okay, we always want a release of energy. So for example, you work a long day at work, you want time to, have to yourself, so that you can be with the people you love, so that you can be by yourself and just release your own energy. You want to be able, you go through a crazy situation, you want to tell all your friends about it. You want to release that energy. You don't want to always hold it in. Now, you can release that energy independently and not have to tell anybody. You can do that. Or you may be the kind of person that likes, being around people and explaining what you went through and releasing it that way. Well, on a sexual, energetic level, that happens too. So for example, if you keep running into people that you're attracted to, or they keep coming by in your path, they just keep coming by in your path, and you realize, like, you try and, like, you give out the vibe that you want to get to know them a little bit deeper, but they're just not, that line isn't crossing. That builds a frustration in you. That builds a lustful frustration where you're like, what the fuck? Like, I want to release this energy, but it's building up. That is meant to happen for your growth. That is meant to happen so you can evolve faster. Because that buildup of that frustration, of that most powerful energy, what we have just talked about, builds up and builds up and builds up and it builds up. And as it builds up, you're in your mind, whether you're conscious of it or not conscious, you're like, I just want to release it. I just want to release it. But you're now more aware. You are now more consciously aware, because you have all that buildup in you on an energetic level. And you're operating different. You're starting to be more, more progressive. You're starting to do things that you've never done before. You're starting to pursue things that you've never pursued before. You're starting to accomplish things that you never accomplished before. Yet, at the same time, you might be like frustrated. You're like, fuck, man, like this shit sucks. But I want you to know that, first of all, that doesn't last forever. These are phases you go through. So I want to stress this. When you're going through this phase, I want you to fully embrace it. Don't go on Tinder, don't go on dating apps, don't go outside, don't go looking for someone to release that energy with. Use it for this time being to create what you want to create for your life. Use it for your own success, because that's what it's there for. Once again, it doesn't last forever. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your own opportunity, because it is one of the most powerful energies that you could ever harness. And if you could see the bigger picture, you would be ashamed if you missed out on that. I would be ashamed and I've done it before. I didn't always understand what this energetic, frustration was, this sexual energetic frustration was. I remember when I was younger, about 3-4 years ago, which is not too long ago, I would go through these phases, and I would take it as a sign. I was, okay, well, honestly, I feel horny right now, so I'm going to go on Tinder, or I'm going to go talk to some people on social media and hang out with them, talk to some girls, and, hang out with them and get my release there. But the bigger picture is I was missing out on the opportunity every single time. The bigger picture is I missed out on that opportunity. It's the phase where you direct that energy and you create the exact reality that you want to create. So now, taking it to another context of using sexual energy. So we went over the lustful sexual energy phases that you go through. Now I want to talk to you about the sexual energy that you get with a partner. Whoever partners that you have, however many partners that you have, I want to tell you about the advantages of having a partner that you can create sexual energy with and what it does for you. So first thing first, let's say, for example, you have a partner and you two have sex. You two have somewhat of a connection, like a pretty strong bond, and every time you're around that person, they give you this charge, right? They give you this energetic charge that's like, fuck yeah. Like every time you leave from hanging out with them, you're just like, I feel good. Like I feel this new rejuvenation. That's powerful. That's the same sexual energy, okay? That's the same thing. You want to create relationships that give you that charge, okay? You want to create relationships that give you that charge. So you want to have a partner that charges you like that. And to be honest, when you have a partner like that, not every time you're going to feel rejuvenated. There's going to be tests within your relationship. That's how relationships grow. You're going to go through challenges. You're going to go through tests. It's how you handle the tests, how you maintain your attitude, how you approach them. As you pass through the tests, you get to know the other person on a deeper level. As you get to know the person on a deeper level, that sexual energy gets stronger. That connection, that rejuvenation gets stronger. Okay, so I want you to know that as well. And another thing is that sexual energy can be charged. It doesn't have to be just someone you're attracted to. It could be someone you're attracted to on a psychological level, in the sense of you really appreciate someone's knowledge. Like you see a powerful person. For example, me. Just so you guys know, I'm attracted to women. Okay, but when I see a man, when I see a guy that is, in control of his life and understands deep knowledge and knows how to transmute knowledge into power, knows alchemy and all those things, I look at that with an eye of appreciation, like a deep level of appreciation. Like I know what you do, I know what you go through, and I know what you're capable of. I know the power that you hold, and I respect that. And that's the same type of sexual energy that I'm sending, because sexual energy is just an attracting energy. Like, obviously, I'm attracted to people who know how to transmute, negative situations into setting up the steps for the next opportunity. Obviously, I'm attracted to that. So this sexual energy is, once again, one of the most powerful energies that you could ever harness, and there's many ways to identify it and see it throughout your life. So that's pretty much what I'm sharing with you guys, is the different ways that you can see it so that you know when it's there and how you can use it to your benefit. But other than that, that's pretty much that's exactly what I'm going to wrap this video up at. So make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about this or anything, feel free to add me on Instagram and then send me a direct message, or drop down in the comments below, ask any questions. I'd be more than happy to engage with you. But other than that, I love you guys and have a great rest of the day or night wherever you're at, and peace.